it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo of the 2021 Toyota RAV4 and its 11-speaker JBL audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at the infotainment system, take a look at speaker locations, audio inputs, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. Get out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling. I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a quick look at the car. Now this is technically the Prime version of the Toyota RAV4, but it's rocking the same premium JBL system as you'd get any of the top-level RAV4s. If you want to see more on this RAV4 Prime, check the links in the description for our fuel economy and range test, as well as our full review and a review against our long-term Tesla Model Y. We always do this test with lossless, uncompressed audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with sound settings set to their factory defaults, just as the audio engineers intended. Let's take a look at those now. A little bit of a simple infotainment interface here with Toyota. It's not my favorite on the market, but it's functional. You have treble, mid-range, and bass adjustments, as well as your standard front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance, and an automatic sound levelizer that'll boost certain parts of the audio depending on ambient cabin noise. Let's take a look at these now. Audio inputs. In the RAV4, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, USB-A, Bluetooth, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay support, and that is it. So what are you missing? Well, you don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. You also don't have a USB-C or a disc player. It would be nice to see at least one of those here in 2021, but not the end of the world. Audio controls, you have an easy-to-grab volume knob here. I don't really care for how Toyota never does detents, no clicks in their knobs, so they're just smooth turns, but it's easy to grab onto, and you also have back, up and down on the left side of the steering wheel. For track selection, you have a tuner knob. If you're in the now playing screen, you can also use the touch screen, and on the right side of the steering wheel, you have controls there. Speaker locations. This is a little interesting because some reports say this is a 9-speaker system, but other reports say this is an 11-speaker system. I've done my best to figure out exactly what's going on, and from the best I can tell, there's a speaker assembly in the rear seats that is kind of like a cheater speaker. It's sort of like one unit, but from what I can tell, it has 2 speaker cones on it. It doesn't look like it when you peer in there and look, but that's what a lot of the websites say. So we're going to go with that for now. We'll call it an 11-speaker system, but let's go through it and take a look at those now. Starting down here in the door, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this well-sized subwoofer in the rear. That's 11. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto demo. Start with Apple CarPlay first. Now, since there's only one USB-A data port, you do have to unplug the USB drive, so it's going to cut out our music. We'll switch over to the iPhone. Right away, we see Apple CarPlay connected. We'll go home and click Apple CarPlay. There we go. Not the highest resolution screen, but everything is laid out. You got your music. No maps loading because I don't have a data connection on the iPhone, but everything's very responsive. You can scroll. Works well enough. Okay, Android Auto. Click through a prompt on the device. And there we go. Greeted with Google Maps. Got your YouTube music. Home menu. Settings, it's all there. Again, doesn't look fantastic, but perfectly functional. Alright, let's pop the music back in and get on the road. Now, this being the plug-in hybrid, it is going to be very quiet on the road, but we will switch it into EV hold mode, hybrid mode for a little bit, to compare what it would sound like as the normal RAV4. My USB, I don't know what is going on with the system. It's just completely froze on me. Oh, okay. Complete screen blackout. Okay. This thing's really having a hard time, so I am actually going to stop and restart it. Okay, let's try this again. Now that we're up to highway speeds, turn the music down. You hear what the RAV sounds like at 70. It is remarkably windy going this direction though, so I will point that out. Fairly quiet in here. A little bit of extra road noise than I would expect, but wind noise really isn't accurate with that extra wind blowing at us. I've been really impressed this entire, well, I've been impressed in general, not really impressed with the audio system blanking out on my USB for some reason. But I've been really impressed in general this week with the audio system's general clarity and balance. Everything sounds really good, really strong. There's a good power to the mid-range, which is lacking in lesser systems. I think
something out there on Instagram or TikTok.
He actually did.
I don't know if it's my USB drive. I guess we'll switch over to Bluetooth for now because the USB is not happening. But I've been impressed by the system's power and clarity, and we'll really be able to test that out here, cranking the bass all the way up. Not the strongest subwoofer I've ever heard in a car, but for a system that you can get around $40,000 in a compact crossover like this, it sounds really good. It's not the heaviest bass, but it's a well-balanced, crisp bass, and I appreciate that. My thoughts on the 2021 RAV4's 11-speaker 800-watt JBL audio system. I've really been impressed this entire week. Overall clarity, power, it's not what I expected at this price point. Toyotas often can make good systems from their JBL partnerships, but the last few, the Camry, Avalon, some of those vehicles I haven't really been too impressed with. So it's a pleasant surprise to get in this RAV4 and hear such a good blend and mix and power of audio. If I had to give an objective rating to this vehicle, I'd probably be saying about an 8, close to 8.5. I don't care much for Toyota's infotainment system. I think it could look better and be easier to use. Subjectively speaking, for this class at this price point, I'd be putting this about an 8.5, nearing a 9. There's not much else that sounds this good in the class. This is right up there with the Mazda CX-5's Bose system. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you found this informative. If you want to see more on the RAV4 Prime, check the links in our description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.